fun stuff.
Before the next topic, I wanted to say I've ran into several people that say this is the favorite part of the Ben at 10 show, which I take a little offense to, but I'm happy they love Brad Weddington.
Me too.
All right, here we're moving on to the next topic here. Again, water related. So this is above our front door. It doesn't look that bad, by the way. I think the picture made it look worse than it is. But above our front door in our house, we've got a bedroom door that goes out into a deck. And then I think some water was getting underneath from above and then creating that little water spot on the drywall. Yep. So obviously needed to caulk that up, stop that problem. Haven't seen it happen since. But if you're seeing any water spots, on drywall, what's the best process to do after that?
The best process on something like that is obviously find where the water's coming from, which you know where it's coming from on yours. It's that exposed door up there on that open deck. Just needs to be resealed. And you're right with water spots. A lot of times they look way worse than what they really are. Because that's just pulling coloration from the wood that it's running over, and it's just staining that drywall. So once you have the problem fixed, you're going to want to use it's a brand that I use called Kills, Kilz. There's other brands, but that's just kind of the well-known one. You'll spray Kills on that stain, and then once that Kills dries, then you can paint it with your typical ceiling paint. The mistake a lot of people do is they'll get the leak fixed and then they'll just paint over it with paint. Well, if you don't Kills it, that stain will bleed right through that paint.
Okay.
Yeah. So the main thing to keep that color from permeating back through is to run some Kills on it, and that's going to kill the stain.
All right. I've got a question here from JK's. Got a question for Brad. I've got an older home with a front porch overhang. It has a downspout. It's really ugly. Some of the components are fiberglass. A recent hailstorm has broken places in it. Do you have any idea how involved it would be to remove it and replace with a regular awning?
Without seeing it, it's hard to tell. But what I think he's saying there is, so
the overhang got damaged.
Yeah. We've got a house right now actually that the front porch is not a large front porch, but his front porch, it still needs a gutter. And he didn't want ugly downspouts running down his custom columns, and I get it. So we actually did rain chains on both ends of the downspout, or of the gutter. So what a rain chain is basically there's a hole drilled in the bottom of the gutter, and this chain hangs on into that hole and goes all the way down to the ground. So as water runs down that chain, it diffuses the water, so it doesn't make a pool at the bottom, but it still gets that water away from the roof line. It's a decorative way to be able to run a downspout, basically.
Okay, and other than if you wanted to replace the whole overhang, all right, so let me see. Recent hail, broken places in it. Do you have any idea involved? Remove it and replace with a regular awning. So there are like commercial awnings, those ones that roll out, and then like mine is like metal and at a slope, so the water comes off of it. So I guess there's just different things you can do as far as replacing.
The problem with the fiberglass is, especially if that's not just your ceiling, but your roof too. If it's a one panel, that fiberglass is exposed to the sun, heat over years and years. It's going to get brittle. And then when you get a hailstorm, it will chunk it out. But like I said, without seeing it, it's hard for me to give the best advice on it. But I would say that's probably what it is. You can remove that fiberglass and go with metal like we did on yours, Ben. That's going to give you a lot more years of use. And then as far as the gutter at the end, I would make sure that gutter was aluminum, and I would do either a rain chain on the end, or you can do what's called a spitter. And a spitter is basically a little piece that mounts to the bottom of the gutter, and it also diffuses that water out, so you don't have just a driving edge there.
All righty, and we got a comment from my mom. Thanks for helping with my door.
Yep.
We talked about doors before and how to try to fix those. All right, next topic here is I saw a video that you're supposed to drain your water heater once a year. Guess how many times I've ever drained a water heater in my entire life?
Is that about right?
0. Jay, by the way, says, thanks, Brad. And we're going to get to your forecast here in just a little bit, but we've got some fun topics here. I didn't know about this until my wife passed it along. So what do you say about draining a water heater?
It's absolutely 100% accurate. It's something that you should do. Now we get into kind of the nuts and bolts of a house. So over 90%, I try to make it 100% of the homes that we build. It just depends on the homeowner. We try to do water softeners. And the reason we try to do water softeners is we have such a high mineral content, calcium especially, lime and stuff, in our water in Southern Indiana. Mm-hmm. So if you do a water softener, we make sure that the main water line coming in hits that water softener before it ever even goes into your water heater. It's going to like double, triple the life of your water heater. But let's say you don't have that luxury and you've just got hard water going into your water heater. I can tell you, if you drain your water heater once per year, you will so prolong the life of that. And the reason being is that sediment will start to build up in the base of that water heater. Mm-hmm. And on your water heater, an electric water heater, you've got 2 electrodes in there that's generating the heat. You got a low and a high. Over time, that sediment will build up and eventually short out that low element.
Oh, great.
So you're only working off your upper element, and the more sediment buildup you have, the less volume of water you're actually getting of hot water because it's being displaced by that sediment.
Thanks for putting another fear in my life here, Brad.
It's not another fear. It's actually a really simple thing to tackle.
I see the drain at the bottom.
Yes.
The one note I did hear that if you've got gas, you got to be more careful with that to shut it off properly. I've got electric though. So
on the electric, it's a big thing too, because if you want to know the process of draining your water heater, I'll walk you right through it real quick.
Okay.
Number one, make sure if it's an electric water heater, you turn the power off to it before you do anything. Turn the main power off to it. Once you turn the main power off to it, you'll notice on the top of the water heater where it feeds in, you'll have a shut valve. Older homes are going to have a screw style shut-off valve. Newer homes are going to have a ball valve. So on a ball valve, if that valve is in line with the line, it's on. To close it, you go perpendicular. So now that you got the power off and the water off, then you go to the bottom of the water heater, screw a water hose in, let it run out the door, and then open that valve, let it drain completely. You'll see chunky stuff come out of the end of that hose. That's good. You're getting it out. Once you've got it completely drained, you'll take the water hose off, close that valve. Then you're going to go to the water heat or to the valve on the top of the water heater, turn it back on. And a good way is go to a sink and open up the valve of the sink to allow that pressure, that air pressure to escape. Once it's completely full, and you'll know when it's done because it will stop sounding like running water. Once it's completely full, then you turn the power onto it. Because the way those elements work is if you do what we call quote unquote dry firing. If you turn the electric onto that water heater without water to insulate those electrodes, you'll burn them up that fast.
So power off, valve shut, hose in the bottom. Is there a valve at the hose in the bottom?
There's a valve at the hose at the bottom, but it's not a typical valve. You use a flathead screwdriver and you twist it. Yeah. And that's going to open that valve.
Once after you put the hose on, open that valve up.
Yep. Let it
drain. Sludge is going to come out. And then close that valve at the bottom again.
Yep.
We're going to open the water back up. And then we're going to turn it back on.
Once it's completely full.
Once it's completely. All right. Yeah. I just had a little education here for myself. I think I can do that. Boy, Diane Miller. Sounds like a great project for you and Mike, her husband.
Nice.
Yeah, that is crazy though. They're proud. there probably is quite a bit of sludge because we do have some pretty hard water where we live.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot of things that you can really do to be proactive and really prolong the life. It's like a vehicle. I mean, when you look at a vehicle, if you take it in and get its oil changed regularly, it's going to last a lot longer. It's the same on a house. There's parts of a home that need attention, and you can add it as part of your annual spring cleaning or whatever it comes to. And it's not a long drawn out process. It's fairly simple. A little time consuming, might take you 20 or 30 minutes. But once you do it once, you'll be like, all right, this is pretty simple.
All right, so we got this crap all around the area, Brad. It's called rain, and it's continuing through tomorrow morning. It's eventually we'll get snow later this year. The weather gets worse and worse. Any other things to watch out for this time of the year? Just leaks or air leaks or anything like that? Checkups on the HVAC?
Checkups on that. It's always good to do a nice fall service, just going into the winter to make sure everything's good. Just when it comes to, make sure you're dealing with a good reputable company when it comes to your HVAC service. Check them out, check references, make sure that they're only doing the necessary that needs to be done. Other than that, make sure everything's sealed up, make sure your stripping is good. That's one thing that a lot of people overlook is, the weather stripping around your exterior doors. Over time with that door being shut constantly, that's going to basically flex that weather stripping out. It's good to replace it every 10 to 15 years. And it's super easy to do. Home Depot, Lowe's sells the strips. It's literally, you just pull it out, put the new one in, 5-minute ordeal, and you've got a new weather stripping in your door. So, and I'm sorry, the dog's barking in the background.
Just rip it off like tape, the old one.
Well, it's got a where it fits. There's a groove in your door frame itself, where that groove it's plastic fingers that fit into there. So you grab the bottom corner of that and just pull it. It pulls all the way out, and the new piece just pushes right back into the existing seam that's there. So very simple.
Oh, the list is getting longer and longer.
Well, yeah, your home is over a decade old. It's time to start doing some maintenance.
That's part of being a homeowner. I know.
Yes.
I get it. And part of being lazy like I am. All right. Anything else, Brad, before we send you away? Anything custom home building wise? If people want to get in touch with you, learn more about Weddington Custom Homes?
Yeah, you just go to the website, weddingtoncustomhomes.com, shoot me an email. We're booking up pretty good. So we've been very, very blessed. And, we're currently taking on projects for late summer, early fall of 26. So we're pretty booked up to the spring and summer. Really happy about that. And just reach out to me anytime, and we'll figure out a way to make it work.
All right, we've got his address there scrolling across the bottom of your screen. And good episode here today with Wednesdays with Weddington. Thanks, Brad. I'll let you get back inside where it's a little more comfortable.
All right, buddy.
Thanks, buddy. Thanks for being with us. All right, that is Brad.